I want to welcome you into Aspire to Retire with Ralph Short, Tim Short, Scott Earhart of Welcome Home Financial Partners. You can find them online, welcomehomefp.com. You can reach them by giving a call, 804-635-3550. Once again, 804-635-3550. It's not just about getting to retirement. It's about getting through retirement. It's about getting beyond retirement. And, to do that, you might feel nervous about that. You might wonder about your prospects, but hopefully by listening to the show, you can feel more confident about your retirement future, and that the team at Welcome Home Financial Partners, they can help you with that retirement that you've always dreamed of, whatever that may be. So before we dive into this episode, I want to welcome the guys, Ralph, Tim, Scott. Thanks for being with me. How are you?
Good. How are you, Chris?
Doing well. Thank you. There is a saying out there, hope for the best, plan for the worst. And it kind of ties into what we're going to start with here. Morgan Housel, he's a best-selling financial author. And Fox Business recently asked him about his philosophy, and he said, save like a pessimist, but invest like a reasonable optimist.
Look, if you think the future is going to be great and everything is going to be okay, that's not optimism, that's complacency. Reasonable optimism is, look, what's going to lie in front of us is a constant, never-ending minefield of setbacks and disappointments and bear markets and recessions. But if you can endure those and survive those financially, the rewards for the optimists over the long term tend to be incredible.
I got to tell you, the way he's posing it doesn't sound that optimistic, but he does bear some truth to it. There are going to be market fluctuations. There are going to be tax changes. There are going to be life events, things that might be beyond our control. And so it is important to plan for all of these things, I think. Do you guys have a philosophy when it comes to crafting retirements for your clients?
I would think what we have is more of a process of what we help people do, what we call it our roadmap. And basically, when you start thinking about retirement, you got to figure out where your income is going to come from. And you have to be optimistic that you've got enough money to last you for the rest of your life. But how do you know? That's where our process comes in. So, you need to make a retirement budget. You need to try to figure out your Social Security benefit. When's the best time to do that? You need to kind of understand how do you rebalance what your investments are going to be like, because you shouldn't be investing your money like you at 65, like you were when you were 20. Because guess what? You don't have the time to wait for all those ups and downs in the market, all those speed bumps that happens in your life. Because guess what? Life is going to happen whether you like it or not. And there are things that you don't feel like you want to experience, but that's the way things are. And you also need to just kind of figure out what your insurance is going to be like through your retirement years. And that's where we sit down and talk to people about how things are going to look, do they visualize their retirement based on their goals, not what the company that you are with now says you need to have.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, Chris, what it's about is the income. So that's kind of the philosophy we build it behind, is the income in retirement. It's not about the big dollar. So that's what people need to focus in on. But at the end of the day, we can only control what we can. And that's what you need to focus on. I mean, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's naysayers, there's optimistics, there's glass half full, half empty, right? It's all about how you look at it. But if we can shoot for looking for guarantees instead of wanting the possibilities, I think that's key.
Absolutely. I think it's really easy in our working years and in our, I'll call them accumulation years, to be a bit more optimistic. And, to me, that means bringing in a little bit more risk and thinking things are going to work out for you. But as I work with people transitioning into retirement, I definitely think I get a pessimistic view, because I want to help my clients and our clients ensure that, their income, as Tim said, is there, that they can live the life they want to live, not have to change their lifestyle, not have to want for anything. So in order to achieve that, I want to put in some guarantees and be a little bit more, have a bit more pessimistic view on it.
Yeah. And you don't want to paint somebody all sunshine and rainbows all the time, because that's not life, right? Life is going to throw you some curveballs. So we've got to make sure that we're taking a look at, maybe worst case scenarios, what's happened in the past, and let's plan from that, instead of painting you this great, big, beautiful picture, and it might not work out that way.
Absolutely. And as Ralph alluded to, using our retirement roadmap process helps our clients see it in front of them, understand that they have the income they need. They also have buckets of money or safety money for when life does throw those wrenches or not sunshine and rainbows at you.
But I will also say one thing. A lot of clients, when you tell them that, guess what, in your retirement years, you're responsible for your paycheck. And all of a sudden it hits home that, oh, that's right, I'm not working for somebody. I'm not getting a paycheck. So where's my income coming from? So it does hit home when we sit down and talk to people about this.
It does, and it makes people nervous too.
Yeah.
A lot of people get nervous and to kick the can down the road. I mean, we talk about it all the time, is there's a lot of people out there that just won't take action, right? So what good comes from that? If you're going to work 30, 40 years, not take any action on your investments, and when you started at the age of 20 and you still had the same investments and now you're 65 years old heading into retirement, is that the right thing to do? Probably not. And guess what? A lot of people are in that boat and they don't take a look at it because they're just, hey, guess what? I'm not going to retire until 2024. I'll wait until the end of 2023 to start planning. And that's what we run into a lot.
But I would also say that the thing that people need to understand, the closer you get to retirement within 5 to 10 years, you need to be taking a closer look at where things are, how things are going to look, because you don't have the time and the luxury of time to correct any mistakes that you might have made in the past.
And it's really not hard for someone to start that process. I mean, really all we ask of an individual that wants to take a look is just raise your hand, give us a call, go to the website, schedule an appointment to sit down, and let's just have a chat about where you're at, what your goals are, and really what you want your retirement lifestyle to look like, and we can go from there.
Yeah, and everybody focuses in on so much on the accumulation side. And to give you a story, I'm working with somebody right now in Dunsville, Virginia, and they retired 4 years ago, and they still have the same investments when they rolled their 401k out, and it's not working well for them. Well, the advisor that they're currently using is not making any changes. And my question to them is, if you're not making any money like he's promising that he's going to give you, then what are we really doing? So let's really take a look at how can we generate the income? That's what you need for retirement. That's what we focus in on.
Somebody's losing money and paying a fee for it?
Yep.
Okay.
So they're generating income for somebody else rather than themselves, which is a whole problem in and of itself. You guys mentioned, the 5 years, the 10 years prior to retirement is really when people should, start taking a closer look. Is it ever too early to start planning for retirement?
Never too early. And what I would tell younger people is you need to make sure that you take advantage, if you work for a company that has a retirement plan, that you need to participate in that. You'd be surprised at the number of people that we have to kind of convince to have a matching program. They need to participate, because to become a millionaire at age 20, it takes a few dollars. To become a millionaire at age 60 and starting, it takes a lot more. So that's the biggest thing that people need to understand is the earlier you start, the less it takes to become there.
Yeah, and along the way, you're going to run into speed bumps, but you've got time, right? So the younger you are, things will change in time, and that's what we help folks with. Anybody who starts early is, hey, this is what we're geared towards right now, but as we get closer, strategies are going to change.
And for those that are younger, I mean, while the core should be your ERISA plan or your employer-sponsored plan, there are other options out there that can help you bolster that. And honestly, the strategies that you have more control over than your ERISA plan. So there's a lot of options for anyone at any age that's working.
I remember, you mentioning that when I got my first job at the age of 16, I was bussing tables in an Italian restaurant. My mom told me, when you get a job that offers a 401k, again, not at the restaurant, offers a 401k with a company match, take advantage of that. That is free money. And then never touch it, is what she told me. Now, obviously, it's a little bit more nuance to that as you get closer and closer to retirement. But I love the fact that you guys talk about it being a roadmap, because also my father, he was an engineer. He was a map maker with the U.S. Army. So he always had that atlas in the backseat. He's all about the roadmaps. And here's the thing is you are going to encounter speed bumps in life along the way. And so having a roadmap is you can see where you are, where you've gotten so far. And if there is something, not necessarily for the negative, maybe there's something else that you want to do. Maybe there's a new grandkid that you want to spend more time with, or you discover a new hobby. You suddenly realize you want to, play golf in all 50 states, things like that. You have that roadmap and you can say, here's where I am now. Here is how I get to where I want to be. And so I think that's an important thing to emphasize here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to make sure I'm not wrong here. This is not a set it and forget it plan that they develop with you guys, right?
It's not set in stone because, like you say, life, as your father is a map maker, there are detours in life that you have to have a way to get around that speed bump.
Things will change. And I just want you to know, Chris, when you talked about golfing in 50 states, Scott lit up like a Christmas tree. So he was very excited.
I'm pretty close. And, we're going to, I need to get Alaska off the list. So
do it in January.
I'm all about it. I will go out and coveralls and stocking hat. And we'll see how that works out.
So whatever your retirement plan is, or whatever your retirement dreams are, it is important to have that plan to fall back on. And you don't want someone that is a set it and forget it, planner. If in the past couple of years, look, we've seen some volatility. It's crept back into the picture. And if your current financial professional has been hard to get in touch with, maybe seek the guidance of someone else. Seek out, a team like Welcome Home Financial Partners. Real easy to get in touch with, 804-635-3550. Control what you can control. We can't control what the markets are going to be. We can't control what Congress and Washington, D.C. does or does not do. But you can have a plan in place knowing that there are going to be these speed bumps. There are going to be these detours along the way. And if you have a plan in place, you can figure out how to get back on track to achieve whatever it is you want to be, whatever you want to do in retirement. And if you want to play golf in all 50 states and, maybe you want to figure out how to go with Scott to go ahead and get Alaska off that list, why not reach out? The team at Welcome Home Financial Partners, 804-635-3550. Once again, 804-635-3550. You can also go online, welcomehomefp.com. You can click the link right there in the podcast description. It'll take you right there. Set up a time. Always available day and night on the website, welcomehomefp.com. I want to thank you for joining us here on Aspire to Retire, both the listeners and you guys, Ralph, Tim, Scott. Appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Thanks as always.
Thanks, Chris.
All content is for information purposes only. It is not intended to provide any tax or legal advice or provide the basis for any financial decision, nor is it intended to be a projection of current or future performance or indication or future results. Opinions expressed herein are solely those of Welcome Home Financial Partners and Welcome Home Wealth Advisors, LLC. The information contained in this material has been derived from sources believed to be reliable, but is not guaranteed as to accuracy and completeness and does not purport to a complete analysis of the materials discussed. All information and ideas should be discussed in detail with your individual advisor prior to the implementation. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstance. Advisor services are offered by Welcome Home Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Virginia. Being registered as an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training. Insurance products and services are offered through WPI Holding, Virginia Insurance License Number 138509, an affiliated company. The information contained herein should in no way be construed or interpreted as a solicitation to sell or offer to sell advisory services to any resident of any state other than the state of Virginia or where otherwise legally permitted. Welcome Home Wealth Advisors, LLC and Welcome Home Financial Partners are not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any government agency.